The incredibly popular beginner sport bike from Kawasaki that is widely regarded as one of the best all-rounders in the class, the Ninja 400, going up against the recently updated, race-inspired little track monster from KTM, the RC390. If you're looking at getting your first motorcycle or a highly capable little machine to dominate the roads and races with, these are two of the absolute best options available, and today we are putting them head-to-head in one epic showdown. G'day, I'm Kwackajack, and welcome to another episode of the Versus series. This is where we put two very similar bikes that you may be looking to choose between under the magnifying glass for a detailed specs comparison and really get down to the nitty-gritty to find out who comes out on top. We'll be analysing the styling, claimed engine and power specs, exhaust notes, weight, suspension and brakes, fuel economy, features and price to see where they stack up and who takes the crown. Having also owned the Ninja 400 and spent a lot of time around RC390s, I'll be adding in a little bit of my own personal experience with each as well. Now before we get started, please do me a huge favour and give this video a like and hit subscribe to join our awesome little community of moto enthusiasts. We've actually just hit 20,000 subscribers, so I guess it's not quite that little anymore. Alright, let's get straight into it and have a look at the styling of these two. The Kawasaki Ninja 400 takes its styling cues from the bigger brothers in the Ninja lineup, like the 650, ZX6, and the new ZX4R. It features sleek yet aggressive lines, and in my full review of this machine, I spoke about how it can easily be mistaken for a bigger bike than it actually is. Even though we have been seeing this same design for quite a while now, I think the dual LED headlights, along with the KRT trim, make this a very sporty and attractive beginner motorcycle. While I'm a big fan of the overall design, especially that front end, I will say that the stock exhaust does leave something to be desired. The KTM, on the other hand, has only very recently been updated with a completely new look. It features race-inspired, sharp bodywork with what they claim to be class-leading wind protection for higher top speeds. The new model is larger overall than the previous, and the color schemes really make the bike pop and stand out on the road. I do like the aesthetic and design of the new RC, except for that front end. I think it kind of looks a bit disproportionate to the rest, and it looks like it's kind of carrying a big nose. I just think that front end looks a little bit odd, and they could have designed it a little better. When it comes down to who wins in this category, it will of course be down to personal opinion, with both having pretty sporty, sleek and aggressive lines that look at home both on the road and on track. In my opinion, the Ninja 400 has the better overall design, but let me know which one you prefer the look of down in the comments. On to the engines. Both the Ninja and RC are learner approved or LAMS motorcycles here in Australia and are designed to fit firmly into that class with their power output. But that doesn't mean you're not getting a very fun engine. The Kawasaki is equipped with a 399cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that it also shares with its naked variant, the Z400. That motor produces a claimed 47 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and 37 Newton meters at 8,000, which is definitely towards the upper limits of what's allowed on a LAMS bike. Those numbers give it the ability to reach 100 k's in only 4.3 seconds and reach a top speed of over 190. This is a quick little ninja, with more than enough power and acceleration to have a huge amount of fun on everyday roads and to take on track. The power delivery is smooth throughout the range, and it gives a really exciting little buzz when you get to the top end of the rev range. Over on the KTM, we have a different setup, with it featuring a 373cc single-cylinder 4-stroke engine that you can also find on its naked cousin, the Duke. This engine is pushing out a claimed 43 horsepower at 9,000 RPM and 37 Newton meters of torque at 8,400 from that single cylinder, and KTM claims to have reduced some of the abruptness on initial takeoff that was felt on the older models. Those numbers get you from 0 to 100 in around 4.3 seconds and up to a top speed of 180 k's an hour. So again, definitely no slouch on the road, and you'll be faster than most four-wheeled objects out there. However, it is a clear victory to the Ninja 400 in the power department, having a larger overall engine and producing more horsepower and having a higher top speed. Would that be noticeable during regular riding though? I'm not sure. They both produce the same amount of torque and should feel equally as gutsy. It'll only be at the top end when you'll start to see the Ninja pull away from the RC. And I think that's worth some praise considering the KTM is making almost the same amount of power with one less cylinder. At the end of the day though, I genuinely think that these bikes are underrated, as all of the power they make is usable. Revving it all the way out is extremely satisfying, and it's a lot more fun riding a slower bike fast than a fast bike slow. Let's also have a quick listen to the stock exhausts of each. I also want to point out that both of these motorbikes are very popular for track use and racing. Due to their small size, they make ideal track bikes for honing your skills on and tuning. Little bikes like this are what the best use to get better. That's also in part thanks to how light they are, so let's see where they stack up. The Kawasaki Ninja 400 is a light motorcycle, coming in with a wet weight of 168 kilograms sitting on the road. While that does mean it's a very easy bike to maneuver while stationary and flick around in the corners, the KTM is even lighter. The new generation of the RC390 has a wet weight of only 164 kilograms, fully fueled and ready to go. That does mean it is bigger than the previous. However, they have used extensive weight-saving tactics to really try and reduce the overall heft that the bike carries, with them shaving off around 3.5 kilograms from the wheels alone. It is the clear winner in the weight department, being 4 kilograms lighter than the competition to really allow it to have the edge on track. While we're talking about how these bikes handle, let's head straight onto the suspension and brakes, as I think that's what a lot of people who are interested in these two will be looking closely at. As mentioned, the Ninja 400 and RC390 are highly desirable track bikes and are often seen overtaking much larger machines simply because of how easily accessible the power is, and how easy and forgiving they are to flick around. On the Ninja 400, up front you've got 41mm telescopic forks, while at the back is a bottom link uni-track gas-charged shock with adjustable preload. It also comes in with a seat height of only 785mm, which places you in a moderately forward-facing seating position to help you attack the corners. The handling on the bike is sharp, and it eats up mountain roads with ease, egging you on, asking for more. While it does lack a bit of adjustability, it is a really fun bike to ride both around town and more aggressively through the twisties. Because it can be modded into such a fast and capable little racer, they are a very popular pick for first track bikes. For its brakes, at the front you have a single semi-floating 310mm pedal disc with dual piston calipers, and at the rear a single 220mm pedal disc with single piston caliper. The bike also comes with ABS. In my full review of the Ninja 400, I said the brakes are adequate in terms of stopping power and feel, and will do the job, but aren't anything exceptional. The rear brake is a bit soft and spongy, and if you are wanting to do any serious riding and looking to upgrade, the brakes is the first place I'd start. Moving over to the RC390, for its suspension, up front you're equipped with WP Apex 43mm inverted forks with adjustable compression and rebound damping, while at the rear is a WP Apex monoshock with adjustable spring preload and rebound damping. The KTM is also hosting a suite of rider aids, having a 3-axis IMU giving you advanced ABS, traction control, and it comes with a Supermoto mode to allow you to modify their strength. With a much taller rider height of 824mm and a more forward-facing rider ergo setup than the Ninja, the RC390 is really decked out to be a very sharp, precise handling little machine. With that front suspension offering 30 clicks of compression and rebound adjustment, you can easily set this bike up to how you want it. Reviewers claim that while the stock setup is a bit plusher than previous generations, it absolutely keeps its sporty heart. That taller rider height will also mean that it may be better for taller riders, while shorter ones might find it harder to flat foot. There has also been some claims of issues surrounding the gearbox though, especially with the optional quick shifter added on. In terms of brakes, at the front you're rocking a 320mm disc with 4-piston radial fixed caliper, and a 230mm disc with single piston floating caliper at the rear. As mentioned, you do have that advanced cornering ABS here helping you out. The brakes on the KTM have a lot of initial bite and provide good stopping power to help you feel at ease. As for who comes out on top in this category, it is close because both Kawasaki and KTM have developed some formidable motorcycles in these offerings, with each performing really well both on the streets and track. However, the RC390 does have much more adjustability with its suspension to allow you to set it up how you like, as well as the 3-axis IMU, rider aids, and bigger brakes. So it takes the win for suspension and brakes. Alright, let's move on to fuel economy. The Ninja 400 is equipped with a 14-litre tank, which may not sound like a lot, but due to the small overall engine size, it only sips away at that and gets some really great mileage. In my personal experience owning it, I've averaged around 24.5 kilometers per litre, which gets me around 330 to 350 k's per tank. The RC390 on the other hand does have an ever so slightly smaller 13.7 litre tank, with the claimed fuel efficiency being around 25 kilometers per litre. That'll be giving you an estimated range of around 330 to 350 k's per tank as well, bringing this category to a tie. Yes, the Ninja has the slightly larger tank, but the RC has the slightly better usage. Results here will vary of course depending on how you use your bike, but for consumption, we are chalking it down to a tie. A category that is certainly not a tie though is extra features. The Ninja 400 hasn't really been updated since it came out in 2018, and while there are a good amount of features included, it just can't compete with the newly refreshed KTM. The notable features on the Kawasaki include assistant slipper clutch, economical riding indicator, ABS, high tensile steel trellis frame, full LEDs, LCD display with analog tack, ergo fit design, and that cool KRT trim. Like we said, pretty basic, but does have everything you'd really need for a first-time motorcycle. The notable features on the RC390 include 3-axis IMU with cornering ABS and traction control, supermoto mode, adjustable height handlebars, adjustable levers, highly adjustable suspension, a thicker padded seat, 5-inch color TFT display, and there is an optional quick shifter available too. It's a pretty resounding victory to KTM here, with it offering much more than both the Ninja and really most of the competition in this category. I really have to hand it to them here with the amount of goodies they're including. But how much is all of this going to cost us? Well, for a brand new Kawasaki Ninja 400 here in Australia, you'll be paying $8,652 right away for the regular model, and if you want that cool green KRT trim, you'll have to fork out a bit more at $8,961. However, for the KTM RC390, you'll have to pay an amount of $8,399 to ride away with it. Of course, if you're willing to get a used version of each machine, you can cut off a couple of grand and still get a good quality bike. But for the price department, once again, the KTM takes the win. So looking back over the comparison, we can see that the Ninja 400 is the more powerful bike with the bigger engine and, in my opinion, better overall design, where the KTM is the lighter, better equipped and cheaper overall motorcycle. All in all, the KTM does come out on top in more categories and does win in this comparison. And I think it's a real wake-up call to Kawasaki. It's been a long time since they've updated their popular beginner bike, and while it's still towards the top of the podium for beginner sport bikes, it's becoming harder to claim it as the top dog when the competition like the RC390 is getting so good. But there you have it. Even though in this comparison the Ninja didn't come out on top, it'll always be number one in my books. Let me know down in the comments which one you would have and any recommendations for future matchups. Thanks again for watching guys, and till next time, see ya.